Hello and welcome back. I'm going to talk to you today about I made another tarot deck. This time I made it with playing cards, and I'm going to try to keep this brief. There's a couple of times I've been trying to record this and I just yak. It's like I don't stop talking, and it's not helpful because then I confuse myself. This idea is born of content that I'm going to be some new content is coming to my channel. A subject that's very dear to my heart. It's practicing, people who need to practice in secret, people who need to be discreet, how to practice in secret. In one of my previous videos, I think it was a second to last video or something, I shared with you my book where you can create an altar to your deity or spirit or whatever altar you like in a book. And instead of having it out on a surface. And this morning I woke up with a bee in my bonnet because I thought, you know what about a tarot, what about a tarot deck? And this is born of a few needs. One of them is, you know what, I was reading playing cards first before tarot cards. And I was fortunate enough to have been in an environment where, one, I had money to buy a tarot deck, and two, because I just had to, tarot decks weren't crazy expensive. I paid $10 for my first tarot deck. And secondly, I could have tarot decks. I could have a tarot deck, not decks. I could have a tarot deck. And, but some people don't want people to know what they're doing. Either sometimes it's for personal reasons, just for privacy. Other times it's for their personal safety. Your family won't understand, or you are, you put yourself at risk for violence, whatever the case is. So here it is. I'm going to show you the tarot deck I made. Now, here's what happened the previous times I tried to record this. If I try to explain it, it gets too long-winded. So I'm going to show you what I did. First I'm going to tell you what I did before I show you the cards, and I'm just going to show you the cards. If there is an interest for me to discuss this further, then leave a comment below, and then I can do a follow-up video where I discuss it further. But I think this is going to be good enough. But I'm always happy to come back and discuss it further. To make a tarot deck out of playing cards, it requires 2 decks of playing cards because you need 78 cards total. Now, I am also working on a separate project where I incorporate the major arcana and all, the missing tarot cards right into a deck of playing cards without needing anything extra. Just the playing cards and the 2 jokers, and it's a full tarot deck the way I'm going to code my cards. But for today's exercise, I made a deck of 78 cards. And I don't know. It's I woke up with this inspiration and I ran with it. From the moment of the thought came to my mind to the execution, it was 5 hours. And there was there was life, there's life in the middle of all that too, right? But still. All right, here it is. So I used 2 decks of playing cards. I used what I had. I had bicycle cards. Although I would have preferred the dollar store cards, the dollar store near my house has Victory cards, and I really love those. So I think Victory or Victoria card. I think they're Victory cards. But anyway, that's the brand. I really love those. But this is what I had, so this is what I used. And same for you. The other thing is to match playing cards to tarot is not. It's not what people say. It's not like 1-to-1. It's not like, oh, it's so simple or what. No, it's not, because they are two completely different divinatory systems. And playing cards have their own meanings that sometimes coincide with tarot, and sometimes they do not at all. So what I went with was, in order to be able to do this coherently, and even to, because it wasn't easy. It was quite a bit of mental gymnastics. I had to forget playing card meanings and just stick to what the minor arcana means, and then add the majors and what was missing in the courts. To do so, I utilized all the face cards, and I based this deck on the elements. So the major arcana is by element. So don't expect to see matches with the major arcana in, cards that because this is a pip deck, man. These are pip cards. And there's only so many faces I could use, and you'll see what I mean. But for it to make sense to me, there's a certain numerical order, and but more importantly, it's elemental. As long as I stringently stuck to the elements for the major arcana, everything else is just whatever fit best. All right, here we are. It's almost 7 minutes. I haven't shown you anything. So let's start. Oops, I was going the wrong way. I know we all like to start with the Fool. So here we go. So before I start again, you might want to take notes. In playing cards, in cartomancy, clubs are wands. Clubs correspond with wands, fire. Spades correspond with swords, air. Hearts correspond with cups, water. Diamonds correspond with earth, pentacles, discs, coins. All right, so here we go. I don't know if we want, maybe I'll center what we're looking at, and it doesn't matter, these are. So I'm just going to do a flip through. I number the arcana with Roman numerals because that's what I'm accustomed to, and I call the cards whatever fit. Oh, yeah, this is what I used. I used red and black Sharpie. Mostly black Sharpie. So as you see, I'm matching to the elements, and a little bit of the I match to the elements of the trump card, and when possible, if it's masculine energy, it's a king. If it's feminine energy, it's a queen, which is why we have the Queen of Diamonds, the Queen of Earth as the Empress, the King of Wands, Fire, as the Emperor, a King of Earth, the Hierophant, and then here we go. All right, so I'm just gonna, and just feel welcome. Just pause what you need to pause. Sorry, I'm fidgeting now. I'll stop. Okay. Now, if you are an artist or you like to draw, there's no reason why you can't draw symbols on these cards if if they help you. As a matter of fact, if maybe as a pastime or so, like a hobby kind of thing, I'll probably do that, where I draw symbols on these cards to further identify them as the major arcana. So that's the major arcana. The rest, I'm just going to flip these quickly. So this is the Wands suit. Same thing for these guys. If you're someone who needs to have little symbols, you could put keywords. Oh my gosh. Like I'm telling you, people, write all over them. Make them yours. So in playing cards, we have 3 court cards, Jack, Queen, King. And in tarot, we have Page, Knight, Queen, King. So what I did was from the second deck of cards, just like where I got the major arcana cards from, I grabbed 4 pages. Now, the reason I grabbed the pages over the queens is that because the queens have such a strong energy, it would confuse me to have 2 queens. But the page, the J could easily be turned into a P, and Bob's your uncle. For the knights, I started by writing the knight in this corner, and then when I did this and realized I could turn the J to a P, I could turn the J to a K, I then added knight. I turned the J into knight. And then I realized, you know what? This works better for me because I'll really be able to distinguish these 2 cards because this has that. But you know what? You could do whatever works for you. For me, it had to make sense visually. So that's the ones. These are swords. So I'm just gonna, you know what playing cards look like. So same kind of thing. Page, Knight, Queen, King. That's the swords. And I'm just gonna show you, oops, let me turn this around. All right, and again, I'm just gonna flip straight to the courts. And here, I used red Sharpie. I had, presence of mind to use the red Sharpie. But I had already done this one, and this is where what I didn't mention in this video because I've tried to record this a few times. It's been a scene, man. This has that linen finish that my trick with the alcohol swab to erase Sharpie doesn't work as well, as you could see from the Mingus I did here and here. I turned that J into knight, that J into knight, and I had already written these 2. Again, if I were to do it all over again, I would do it a little bit different, but that's the whole point. And another thing is, oh my God, like I could just go pay $2.50 for some dollar store playing cards and do this all over again. So how does it work? I don't know. Let's take a look. I haven't read with it yet because I kept it in order so I could show it to you. Also, if you're watching this and stiff cardstock is the bane of your existence, remember when playing cards used to shuffle really nicely? Yeah, they're even making playing cards too stiff to shuffle. Because I have some older ones that shuffle much nicer than this, but these are brand new. And they're much stiffer. Maybe because they haven't been used yet. So, I don't know. Let's do a little reading. Hopefully, we get something cool. Let's do a little reading and say, I don't know. We'll just put down random cards. I don't even know what I want. We just want to see what they look like, right? All right, so here we go. These are very slippery, but hey, we got a tarot deck. All right. So, so if you know me, Eight of Swords is always comes out for me. Oh, here we go. The Moon. So what do we have here? 8 of Swords, the Moon, 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles. There's a nice 4-card spread. Look, this was by accident. I realize what this looks like. It looks like I did this on purpose. It's by accident, but no, it makes me laugh and I freaking love it. The Moon. Okay. Let's see how it, let's keep going. Just see how it looks, right? So that's how it looks. Oh, I didn't shuffle very well. They're very stiff. Hangman, the Star, the Page of Wands. Now, you could, if you're, if you're not if your brain doesn't automatically translate this to swords and that to wands and that to cups, nothing, like I said, these guys are your friends, man. You take your Sharpie markers and you write down wands, or even wands, like, wherever you need, whatever you need to do, mark these up. Mark these up. And what you will have is a very personal deck of tarot cards that look just like a bunch of playing cards. And if you're, if you really need to use a code, you can, you can code these even better, even more. You could even be more secretive. You could just use drawings, like you could, for the sun, you could just draw the sun on that card. I'm telling you, it's, what I did here, people, is very, very, like, it was just a bare minimum, just to share with you this idea. I'm pretty sure if you're out there and you're inspired, you could do some pretty beautiful work with these. And yeah, well, I was just looking for this card because, let's end with strength. Let's end with strength. All right, so I hope this this video made sense, and I'd be happy, like, if you want me to explain to you my process of how, what, why don't I just do it now? I had to use the face cards. I had to use the face cards for the major arcana. And when I ran out of face cards, then I just went to the 10s. And then when I ran out of 10s, of course, right, I went to the 9. And then when I got to 9, I thought, oh, I don't want to see 8s in the major arcana, so I went to aces. That's pretty much what my process was. So it doesn't need a whole other video for me to explain it. The most important thing was to sort out, to have an accurate list, because the one I printed off from the internet was inaccurate. Another thing, don't believe everything you see. Always cross-reference. Always check multiple sources. You know what I mean? Always get a second opinion, because the really nice PDF that I pulled off the internet, this thing right here, this is what you'll find when you look up Major and Minor Arcana Quick Reference Sheet. There were errors in this, so the best place to go is a tarot book, and the other best place to go is, if you're doing it on the cheap online, is to go to Tarot Forum, tarot.com. All right, so that's it for me and my sneaky tarot deck. Again, this, you can make this whatever you want it to be. You can make something really beautiful. You can make something a little more secretive than this. And my next project is I'm gonna work on having all this stuff just in a regular deck of cards, where cards are sometimes one, sometimes the other, depending on how it lands. All right. That's it for me, and I'm wishing you all a beautiful day. Bye-bye.